Most people spend their entire lives chasing freedom, yet never find it. Not because they lack discipline or desire, but because they're playing a game they never agreed to. One that was designed long before they were born. From the moment you enter school, you're handed a script. Study hard, get a job, buy things, pay bills, work until you're too tired to question why. It feels normal, even noble. But it's really a maze, built to keep you running just fast enough to never reach the exit. We're told money brings freedom, but look closer. The harder people work, the less control they seem to have. Their time disappears, their choices shrink, their peace becomes a luxury they can't afford. Because real financial freedom isn't about income, it's about independence. It's not just having money, it's having options, the power to walk away, to choose your hours, your risks, your values. That kind of freedom doesn't come from luck or hustle. It comes from understanding the system, how it traps, distracts, and rewards the wrong things. And until you see it for what it is, you'll mistake the cage for comfort. To understand why most people struggle financially, you have to look backward, way back. Because this didn't start with you or your parents. It started centuries ago when wealth meant land and land meant power. In medieval Europe, 90% of people worked the fields, not for profit but survival. The system was simple. Those at the top owned the ground and everyone else rented their right to exist on it, labor in exchange for life. When the Industrial Revolution arrived, it promised freedom. Factories replaced farms, wages replaced harvests, and for the first time, people could earn their own income. But a new kind of control quietly took hold. Instead of being tied to soil, people became tied to salaries. The system didn't free them, it just changed the leash. By the 20th century, something remarkable emerged: the middle class. A class taught to dream of comfort, steady paychecks, mortgages, pensions. But the truth? It was still dependency, dressed in stability. You worked, you spent, you borrowed. And the more you consumed, the deeper the system grew its roots. Schools trained you to be employable, not financially intelligent. Advertising taught you to desire more, not need less. And the cycle kept spinning, generation after generation. This wasn't chaos, it was design. Fast forward to today, and the field has changed, but the trap hasn't. The plow has been replaced by the paycheck, the landlord by the lender. And the chains? They're made of debt. Student loans, credit cards, mortgages, medical bills, all designed to keep you moving, but never free. The average household now owes more than it earns in a year. And while you're working to pay it off, interest quietly compounds, working against you day and night. It's not just a number, it's control. Debt keeps you from quitting the job you hate. It keeps you saying yes when you should say no. It keeps you afraid of risk and afraid of falling behind, afraid to stop running. Meanwhile, inflation creeps in like a silent thief. The same dollar that once filled your cart now buys half of it. And when the cost of living rises, what's the advice you hear? Work harder, get a side hustle, budget better. But every new dollar printed to fix the problem only makes the problem worse. Because when money is created, it flows upward, inflating the assets owned by the few, while everyone else drowns in higher prices. Debt is not an accident of capitalism. It's the fuel that keeps it burning. A system powered by promises, sustained by interest, and protected by your silence. The more you owe, the less you own. And ownership, that's where real freedom begins. Here's the part no one wants to admit. The system doesn't fail by mistake. It works exactly as designed. Every structure, from your paycheck to your pension, is built to funnel value upward while convincing you it's your fault you can't get ahead. Didn't save enough? Your fault. Can't afford a home? Work harder. Living paycheck to paycheck? Budget better. But discipline isn't the problem. Design is. You're taught to think like a consumer, not an owner. From school to streaming, everything around you whispers the same message. Earn more, spend more, stay busy, stay quiet. Meanwhile, those who built the system, the truly wealthy, play by another rulebook. They don't trade time for money. They trade assets for freedom. They build businesses, buy real estate, own intellectual property. They use debt not as a burden but as leverage. They understand the laws, the loopholes, and the limits of the game. Because they helped write it. And the most powerful move they ever made. They made sure you were never taught to play. Financial freedom isn't a product they'll sell you, it's knowledge they'll hide from you. Because once you start seeing how the machine works, you stop being part of it. And that's the one thing the system can't afford. Most people live by a script they never wrote. Get a job, take the loans, buy the house, upgrade the lifestyle, work until you can't, and hope retirement comes before regret. It feels like progress, but it's a loop. Because every step deeper into debt makes you easier to control. When your survival depends on your next paycheck, you can't take risks. When your identity depends on consumption, you'll defend the very system that's keeping you broke. And when exhaustion becomes normal, you'll mistake survival for success. But here's the truth. Financial freedom isn't about escaping the system overnight. It's about seeing the script for what it is and slowly rewriting it. Start with control over your spending, your time, your focus. Then build leverage, not through luck but through ownership. Learn skills that earn even when you rest. Build assets that outlast your labor. Understand how money moves and stop chasing what depreciates. And above all, protect your attention. Because distraction is the modern tax, the cost you pay for not being present in your own life. Every small act of awareness weakens the system's grip. Every decision to build instead of buy, to save instead of scroll, to question instead of comply, is a quiet rebellion. Financial freedom isn't about having everything. It's about needing less, owning more, and knowing why. Real wealth isn't built overnight. It's designed. It's not about a miracle investment, a viral side hustle, or a lucky break. It's about choices repeated quietly until they become power. Because freedom isn't bought, it's built. One habit, one asset, one act of discipline at a time. Start by reducing fragility. Simplify. Cut what drains your time and energy. Every unnecessary expense is a chain. Every unnecessary loan is a leash. Every hour spent in confusion is an opportunity lost. Then build what compounds, skills that grow in value, networks that open doors, assets that create income when you're asleep. Don't chase speed, chase sustainability. The wealthy don't think in days, they think in decades. Protect your mind. The system thrives on distraction, division, and fear. If you stay calm, curious, and educated, you become harder to manipulate. That's your real defense, awareness. And when you learn something that helps you see clearly, share it. Because when more people understand how the system works, it starts to change. That's how revolutions begin. Not with rage, but with realization. Most people will never be financially free. Not because they can't, but because they never question the script. You just did. That's your first victory. The next step? Keep learning. Keep building. Keep questioning. Because the more you understand, the less they can control. If this opened your eyes, subscribe. History doesn't just teach us what happened. It teaches us how to escape repeating it.